I'm here at the Gander Mountain Academy in Lake Mary, Florida with lead instructor Jay White. Now Jay, a lot of what you guys do here is prepare people for home defense. And of course, when people are thinking about home defense, they're thinking about where do they keep the firearm. We might say keep the firearm on your body at all times, but for a lot of people it's not realistic, it's not going to be an option. What do you tell people about storing a firearm for defense inside of their home?
Well, we try to get people to think ahead. Where are they going to need that firearm? Where are they going to end up if they have to evade and barricade? Where are they going to end up? What is the most logical place for that? Is there more than one place? And if there is, what are they? How do we get the other people in their family, the responsible people of that family, to be aware of that, either going through a drill with them or just having a meeting and sitting down and going through the steps, the where, the what, and the where, and the how. Not only do we have a large selection of options for people here, from the largest storage safes that you can get for your collection to some of the smallest that fit under a table, behind a bedstand or a nightstand, or even in the drawer of a nightstand. We tell people if you're going to end up in a room, then that's a place where you need to be. If you have a plan B and you can't get to that room and you go into, let's say, the kids' room, is it possible to have a locked safe in there, a wall safe, that only you or the responsible members of your household can access? Then that is something that you need to discuss within your own family plan. Definitely something to consider. We try to get them to use forward thinking.
So we're definitely looking at where you're going to end up being an important consideration in where you store your firearm. I know we call it barricading. I think you guys use the same terminology. When you're going to end up in a specific place, you want the firearm to be there. Now the other option you mentioned is interesting, and I know that I get a lot of people who really kind of raise their eyebrow at that. How do your students respond when you say you might want to put a secured firearm in the kids' room, which obviously is a place that you might end up when you're barricading?
Well, of course, Rob, we have to be very careful with the people we communicate that with. We have to read our customers and our students, so we definitely never want to offend them. But it's a viable option, and so the people that are open to it, we explain to them why. The people that are surprised by it, well, we usually get to them with logic, or they just decide that's not an option for them. And if they come to that conclusion, then that's what they have to come up with, their own emergency plan. And you know, we hope that they can overcome that. I know a lot of people think that that's very risky or taboo even, but again, if you end up there with your child, which is the thing you want to safeguard the most, how are you going to protect them if what you use for self-defense is in your bedroom, the den, or the basement? It doesn't do you much good.
Right, and of course at that point, if you're at a very low level of training, you certainly don't want to run to the bedroom, get the gun out, and then have to run back across the house with the loaded firearm under stress into the kids' room to make sure they're okay. Exactly. You want to get to those kids right away. That's a natural parental sort of instinctive action. Having the firearm there makes sense. At the end of the day, one of the things that I tell people is that if your kids are going to break into that safe in their room, they're probably going to try to break into the safe in your room or any place else you have it, and it's more of a parental issue than it is a firearm safety issue. Storing the firearm where you're going to barricade, where you're most likely to use it. Great advice from Gander Mountain Academy. Jay, I appreciate it.
Rob, anytime. Thank you, sir.